Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we cut through the noise and get straight to the knowledge. Today, we're diving into something that's, well, surprisingly complex for such little guys,
Mhm.
feeding our guinea pigs. You'd think it'd be straightforward, wouldn't you? But honestly, their systems are super delicate, and there's so much confusing info out there, it's easy, even if you mean well, to make mistakes. So our mission for you today is pretty clear. We've gathered up all the articles, the research, the notes you shared. We're going to boil it down to the really important stuff, the actionable insights. Think of it as your shortcut to, really getting it, those aha moments for your piggy's health.
Exactly. And let's be clear, this is a no judgment zone. Seriously. We've all been there, myself included, with guinea pigs way back. Sometimes the information's just scattered or confusing or honestly just plain wrong sometimes. So using everything you've given us, the goal is just learning together, helping you make the best choices for your little guys. Let's dive in.
Okay, let's unpack it, starting with the absolute non-negotiable foundation. Hey, sounds simple, right? Hey, but this is where some really big mistakes happen. Mistake number one, not giving enough hay, or maybe even worse, giving poor quality stuff. Okay, here's the key thing. Their whole digestive system, their teeth, it all depends on having fresh, unlimited hay all the time, 24/7. It's not just a side dish. We're talking like 80 to 90% of everything they eat. Think about it. They're hindgut fermenters. That just means their gut needs a constant stream of fiber to work right.
Yeah.
And maybe even more importantly, their back teeth.
Oh.
They never stop growing, ever. So that constant chewing on hay, that's literally the only thing that wears them down naturally. It stops painful problems, spurs, abscesses. So if your hay looks dusty or smells musty or feels really brittle, that's a problem. That musty smell is a huge red flag.
Yeah.
The fix, go big. Huge piles of it scattered around, not just stuffed in a tiny little rack. Our sources really lean towards meadow hay mixed with good Timothy hay. They call Timothy the gold standard sometimes. High fiber, low calcium, and yeah, the pigs usually love it.
It's such a critical point, and it's a mistake I've definitely seen, in rescue situations quite often. People think that little rack is enough, but you nailed it. It's not just food. It's like medicine for their teeth and their gut working together. It really shows how their bodies are just built for that constant grazing, and we have to replicate that.
Totally. Okay, next up, water. Seems even more basic, right? But mistakes happen here too. Mistake number two, not enough fresh water or just not changing it often enough. So the thing is, guinea pigs can be weirdly picky about their water.
They really can.
If it's even a bit dirty or has stuff floating in it, they might just stop drinking enough, which leads to dehydration. And that
Yeah.
dehydration, it can quickly cause serious urinary issues. We're talking bladder stones.
Yeah, it cascades quickly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Their water intake is directly linked to bladder health. Not enough clean water, and that risk of stones just shoots way up.
So simple fix, but crucial. Super simple, but easy to forget. Change it daily, minimum. More often if it looks even slightly off. And offer options. Lots of sources. And vets, too, say use both bottles and bowls.
Good tip.
Yeah, I learned that one the hard way, actually. My first pig, Pip, hated bottles. Would only drink from this heavy ceramic bowl, so, give him a choice. Oh, and a big one, hard water. If you're in an area where your tap water's high in calcium.
Right. You get that limescale buildup.
Exactly. Then using filtered water, or maybe a low-calcium bottled water, is really recommended. Helps lower that bladder stone risk again.
Makes sense.
Okay, now, this is where it gets really interesting. Dry food. Because honestly, there's a lot of conflicting stuff out there. Let's do pellets first, which brings us straight to mistake number 3. Feeding those muesli-style mixes or just low-quality pellets.
Ah, the colorful ones?
Yes. Those mixes with all the different shapes and colors, they basically encourage picky eating. Your pig will just hunt for the tasty bits, the dried fruit, the seeds, whatever looks good, and leave the actual nutritious high-fiber parts behind. The green pellets usually get left.
Totally. So we end up with an unbalanced diet, often missing vital vitamin C and eating stuff that's frankly unsafe or just fattening. Plus, sources mention unpleasant additives and colorings. Just junk, really.
Yeah, empty calories.
So the solution, go for plain, boring, uniform pellets, grass-based ones. Timothy or orchard grass pellets are usually best for adults because they're lower in calcium than alfalfa-based ones. Make sure they're actually for guinea pigs, obviously, and check for added stabilized vitamin C. That stabilized part is important, means it lasts longer.
Good point.
Label-wise, you're looking for high fiber, like minimum 18% and around 12-14% protein for your grown-ups. But even with good pellets, you got to be aware they can have fillers, Things like soy, wheat, corn, molasses, they don't offer much nutrition if you feed too much, and they can just fill your pig up so they don't eat enough hay.
Which is the main event.
Exactly. Which leads perfectly into mistake number 4, overfeeding the pellets.
Mm-hmm. Easy to do.
Totally. The key insight is remembering pellets are concentrated. They're meant to supplement the diet, fill in gaps, not be the main course. They do, round out the diet and provide some important vitamins and nutrients, as one source put it. But they are not a substitute for hay. Cannot stress that enough.
Right.
Because why it matters is overfeeding pellets leads to obesity, sure. But maybe more importantly, it means they eat less hay. And less hay means more risk of dental problems and bladder stones because the pellets are more concentrated in minerals like calcium.
So it displaces the good stuff.
Exactly. The solution is just moderation. Recommendations vary a bit, but sources often suggest around 10 to 15 grams per pig per day, which is way less than the 30 or 40 grams you might see on some bags. It's roughly maybe an eighth of a cup per adult pig. The idea is the bowl should actually be empty for most of the day. That encourages them to go munch on their hay.
You've really highlighted that supplemental role. It feels like there's a genuine debate sometimes, doesn't it? About whether they're absolutely essential for every single pig, or could, a really fantastic hay and fresh food diet maybe make them more optional, like some sources hint. What's your take on that synthesis?
That's a really good question. And yeah, the sources do kind of lean different ways on it. My reading is that, yes, a pellet can be like nutritional insurance, right? Make sure they get that baseline of vitamins, minerals. And theoretically, if you provided this incredibly diverse, perfect range of fresh forage constantly, maybe pellets wouldn't be strictly necessary. But realistically, for most of us at home, providing that perfect forage consistently is really hard.
It is very hard.
So for most owners, having a small amount of good quality pellets is probably a really wise safety net. Just ensures they get everything. The key, though, is absolutely the quantity. Keep it small.
Agreed. Balance is key. They're gap fillers, not the main meal.
Right. And speaking of small portions, let's talk treats. Mistake number 5. Giving too many commercial ones.
The treat sticks and yogurt drops.
Exactly. The main thing here is most of those shop-bought treats, they're full of additives, grains, sugars. Even the ones that say hay-based can be misleading. They're often just empty calories, really. And they can make your pig less interested in eating the good stuff, like their hay.
Takes the edge off their appetite for the essentials.
Precisely. So the better way, natural alternative, little bits of fresh bell pepper, maybe some pea flakes. Those are much better choices. If you do use dried treats, maybe for taming or, distracting them during nail clips, always check the ingredients. Look for single ingredient things like just plain dried carrot pieces or something. That way you actually know what's in it and you're not accidentally messing up their diet.
Good advice. Keep it simple.
Okay, moving on to fresh foods. These are great, vital vitamin C, lots of variety, but yeah, common mistakes here too. Let's start with mistake number 6. Feeding too many veggies that cause gas.
The gassy greens.
Yeah. Things like broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, Brussels sprouts. They're all part of the brassica family. Maybe you could quickly explain what the brassica family is, just for clarity.
Sure. Basically, it's the mustard or cabbage family. Think of plants with those sort of slightly tougher, sometimes waxy leaves, kales in there, collard greens, even things like radishes. While some are fine in moderation, the compounds in them can sometimes be a bit much for a sensitive guinea pig digestive system.
Great, thanks. And the reason this matters, think of their digestion like that factory conveyor belt we talked about earlier, just smoothly processing food, making hundreds of little poops.
Poop output is key.
Totally. Now, if you suddenly throw a load of gas-filled balloons, those gassy veggies, onto the belt, it can get blocked up, start malfunctioning, or even just stop, which causes pain, bloating, and potentially that really dangerous condition called GI stasis.
Oh, this is an emergency.
Absolute emergency. So the solution, feed these specific veggies sparingly, max 2 or 3 times a week, small portions only, for daily greens that are less risky for gas. Think bell pepper again. Cucumbers usually safe, romaine or little gem lettuce are good choices.
Good alternatives.
Okay, mistake number 7, feeding too many high-calcium vegetables. Now, this is interesting. Guinea pigs absorb pretty much all the calcium they eat. Any excess goes to their kidneys, then into their urine. That's what causes those white, chalky marks you sometimes see when they pee.
The calcium sludge.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And their urine is naturally alkaline, which unfortunately creates the perfect conditions for that excess calcium to form crystals. And then over time, potentially painful bladder stones.
It's a perfect storm, physiologically.
It really is. So, examples of high-calcium veggies. Spinach, parsley, kale, spring greens, dill, dandelion leaves are common ones. And I have to admit, when I first got pigs, I thought kale was amazing. Gave it to them almost every day.
Oh yeah, common trap. The superfood idea.
Totally. Took me a while to connect the dots with the calcium and those white pea spots.
Absolutely, host. It's a really common misconception, and it's crucial because we apply our own nutritional ideas, forgetting their unique physiology. The solution, like with the gassy veg, is sparingly. Small amount, just a few times a week. And remember, it's not just the veg. Calcium comes from pellets too. Some hays have more than others, and as you said, even hard tap water adds up. It's the total load.
Right, it's cumulative. Good point. Okay, next up, mistake 8. Not checking if foods are safe or introducing new things too fast.
Big one.
Huge. Key insight.
Yeah.
Loads of common plants and veggies are actually toxic for them. Things you wouldn't even think of, maybe. Onions, leeks, garlic, chives, potato leaves, tomato leaves and stems, rhubarb, flowers like foxglove, even ivy.
Yeah, the list is surprisingly long.
It is. And even lawnmower clippings seem harmless. Nope. They ferment really fast and can make pigs seriously ill. So the solution is dead simple. When in doubt, leave it out. Always, always double check if something's safe before you offer it. And if you're thinking about foraging wild plants, you need to be 100% sure of your identification and avoid areas near roads or anywhere that might be sprayed with chemicals.
Definitely need a good guide for foraging.
For sure. And this ties right into mistake number 9, changing their diet too quickly. Remember that conveyor belt analogy? Their gut is delicate. Sudden changes really throw it off balance.
Knocks the whole system out of whack.
Exactly. Like fresh spring grass seems great, right? But it's often higher in natural sugars than the hay they're used to. Introduce it too fast, you can get soft poops, or worse.
Yeah, upsets the gut bacteria.
So the solution is just go slow. Introduce any new food gradually. Start with a tiny piece, see how they do. Slowly increase it over days. Same goes for swapping. Pellet brands don't just switch. Mix the old and new together, maybe over a week or even 2 weeks. And always keep an eye on their droppings. They tell you a lot about how their digestion is handling things.
Poop patrol is essential guinea pig care.
It really is. Okay, almost there. Vitamin C. Like us, they can't make their own. But the solution isn't always straightforward, which is mistake number 10. Automatically thinking artificial vitamin C supplements are needed for all pigs. Or, even worse, putting drops in their water.
Ah, the water supplement issue.
Yeah. The thing is, artificial vitamin C often isn't as bioavailable, meaning their bodies can't absorb or use it as well as natural sources. Plus, vitamin C breaks down super fast in water and light, and any weird taste from the supplement. I put them off drinking altogether, which we know is bad.
Undermines the whole hydration thing.
Exactly why it matters. Lack of vitamin C causes scurvy, obviously, but long-term deficiency might even link to things like heart disease.
You know, that point about bioavailability is really interesting. I often see owners thinking more is better with supplements, but it sounds like it's more about the type and the source. Is there a clear sign when a pig genuinely needs extra C beyond diet, or is it mostly preventative?
Great question. It really depends on the pig and its situation. For most healthy adult pigs, the solution is usually just a good, varied diet. Lots of fresh veggies known for vitamin C. Bell peppers are fantastic. Parsley, kale in moderation, dandelion greens. Combine that with a good quality pellet that's fortified with stabilized vitamin C, and that's usually enough.
So diet first.
Diet first, absolutely. Supplementation, that's generally reserved for specific cases. Babies, sick pigs, older pigs, maybe ones recovering from surgery.
Well,
And if you do need a supplement, the best way is directly. Use a syringe, like maybe 50 milligrams per pig per day. Using a liquid children's vitamin C straight into their mouth, not in the water where it degrades and might put them off drinking, ensures they actually get the dose.
direct dosing makes sense.
Okay, finally, a really common worry that's often actually a misconception. You might be making the mistake of worrying your guinea pig is obese.
The potato with legs look.
Exactly. The key insight here is guinea pigs are naturally kind of round. Potato with legs is a good description. But remember their diet. Low calorie, high fiber. It's actually way more common for them to lose weight, especially if they get sick, than to become truly obese. In fact, having a little bit of, let's call it extra chunk, can genuinely be life-saving if they stop eating due to illness or dental problems. They lose weight scarily fast. That bit of reserve helps.
It's their emergency fund.
Perfect way to put it.
Yeah.
So the solution isn't usually dieting them, it's monitoring. Weigh your pig weekly, keep a record. You should generally be able to gently feel their ribs, their spine, their hip bones, if you honestly can't feel those bones at all. Especially if they're tipping the scales over, say, 1,300 grams, that might be a concern. Or, importantly, if you see rapid weight loss. That's when you need to see an exotics vet. Because while true obesity is rare, it can sometimes point to other underlying health issues. So professional advice is key then.
Mm-hmm. Get it checked out. So, wrapping all this up, what does it mean for you listening at home? I think it's about empowering yourself with this knowledge, really understanding the why behind their unique digestion. Focus hard on those basics: unlimited good hay, fresh, clean water, embrace variety and safe, fresh foods, and just be really mindful about the quality and especially the quantity of the other stuff like pellets and treats.
Absolutely. This whole deep dive really just screams happy, healthy guinea pigs thrive on variety, fresh stuff, and a diet that's as close as possible to how they naturally eat, foraging. Trust their instincts a bit, lean heavily on that fiber, and just always keep learning, keep observing your own little guys. So, as you think about all this we've discussed, here's maybe a little provocative thought for you.
Mm-hmm.
In our world, which is so full of convenient processed foods for us, how might leaning into this more forage-first, natural approach for our guinea pigs, how might that nudge us to think a bit differently about our own diets? And maybe the value of natural, varied whole foods, just something to chew on.